Hello, today we're going to do a quick screencast to demonstrate how to create icons for the courses in the NTERLearning management system so that you can create your own custom icons. I'm going to demonstrate this on a Windows 7 system using Microsoft Paint because it ships with all the machines, but you can use any graphics tool that you like that can create GIF, JPEG, or PNG images, which is what the system requires. Okay, to run Paint on a Windows machine, we click the Microsoft logo at the bottom left, click All, we'll go up to the Accessories folder and scroll down till we find Paint. So that will run Paint. Also in the same folder, under All Programs, Accessories, there's a tool called the Snipping Tool. If I select that, it will bring up the Snipping Tool, which puts a cross up here and allows us to grab stuff anywhere off of the screen. Get rid of that for right now because we don't need that for now, but that's a real handy tool that you can use to grab images for your icons or for anything else for your courseware for that matter. Okay, we have a logo already for the Pacific Northwest Center for Excellence in Clean Energy, so I'm going to open that up, and to do that we click this blue menu box up in the left top left corner, and I've already had this open before, but you can use the open box here to open a graphic up anywhere on your system. And we get the, as we can see down here, it's a 908 by 982 pixel image. The screen is a little bit small for this screencast, so it's really a little cumbersome to work with here, but one of the things that you would probably want to do is start out by using the Select tool here to grab this image out of the middle of the picture and eliminate as much of the white space as you can. That way it makes it a little bit, fills up your picture better and that sort of thing. But for right now, I'm just going to size this image by clicking on these two little double boxes here. If you hold the cursor over that for very long, it'll show you that it's a resize tool. And I want to switch this into the pixel mode instead of the percentage mode. And then the idea is I change these, the horizontal to 180 or the vertical to 135 to get our image smaller than 180 by 135. There's a check mark down in this box called aspect ratio, and that makes sure that when you size either the horizontal or vertical, the other will size accordingly so that it doesn't distort the picture. So I'm going to try to switch the top one here to 180, and notice down at the bottom I get 194 vertical. Well, we only have 135 vertical pixels, so that isn't going to work. So I'll try to switch that to 135. Okay, that works. That gives me a horizontal picture of 124 pixels and vertical of 135. Now, in messing around with this, I discovered, with this particular image anyway, that I really can't fit it in without chopping off the bottom unless I make it about 115. So that's really about the area that you have to work with without truncating part of the picture. Okay, I'm going to click OK, and notice that our image shrinks down rather nicely. It still looks pretty good. Your mileage may vary on that. Different images may start falling apart. If it's a very complicated image, when you shrink it that much, it might just look like garbage. So you just have to play with it and see what works. Okay. I'm going to hit select here and select all and copy this image to the clipboard here, and now I'm going to do a save as to save a temporary version of it just in case something messes up and we have to reload it in and mess with it again. And when you click save as in this program, a menu pops up letting you choose the file type to save it as. This is a good time to talk a little bit about the difference between PNG and JPEG and GIF. JPEG is a compressed file format that's what's called lossy. That means that every time you save the file, it compresses it and you get a real good compression, makes a nice small disk file, loads fast over the web or transfers fast, whatever. But the problem is you lose a little bit of clarity each time that you save that. So if you save it and then load it again and save it, load it again, pretty soon you have a pretty rough looking image. So it's better to save it while you're in the editing mode in the PNG format because PNG is not lossy, but it won't have quite as small a disk file. With a small icon like this, it's probably not going to make any difference on the file, but when you're dealing with large graphics, that can make a big difference on how big they are. And we're dealing with a web-based system like NTER. The larger the graphic is, the longer it takes to download for your users or your students to see the pictures. So I'm going to save this as a PNG and make this a temp version of that file. And now I've already cut it to the clipboard, or copied it to the clipboard. And this image is 106 by 115, which you can see down here. The problem is that NTER defaults to a black background for the icon. So if I were just to paste this in and use it as an icon, I would see black bars on the left and right, or the top and bottom of the image, because you're going to have a 180 by 135 black block behind it. So if that's not going to work for you, like it won't in this icon, since it's got a white background, what we'll do is we'll create a new icon by pulling down the menu, selecting new, and this gives us just a blank icon. And now I want to go over and select pixels, and I want to make this 180 because that's the width. Now notice down here it got too large, 195. So to turn off that aspect ratio so that I can put the exact numbers for both X and Y in, I click that maintain aspect ratio off. So now I have a 180 by 135 pixels, and this will create a new blank image of just the right size. Now since I saved my other image before, it should be there on the clipboard. I click paste, and there it is. Notice it's not centered, so you'll want to kind of drag it over to the center using that tool, or you can actually use the cursor keys to do fine adjustments in Paint and many other programs. And notice it's offset a little more towards the top than the bottom, because it, like I say, NTER tends to chop off the bottom part of the picture. Okay, so there's our icon. All we have to do now is go up, click Save As. I'm going to go ahead and save it as a PNG, and just type a name in. That's the Pacific Northwest Center for Excellence in Clean Energy icon, and save that. And there we go. We have our perfectly sized, fully white background icon that we can use to upload into courses, which will have another learning lesson and a video to show how to actually upload that icon into the system. Hope this has been instructive and helps you out. Thank you very much.